Most people cringe when it comes to starting DM conversations online, especially on LinkedIn, all right? So the fear is often, what do I say? How do I start the conversation? And how do I sustain the conversation? So in this video, I am going to attempt to help you deal with all the things that are holding you back, from mindset to the issue of what to say to a total stranger to get the conversation started on a platform, say, like LinkedIn. All right, quick one. I've made more money on LinkedIn via starting a DM conversation than I have from my posts or from applying for a job directly. And it might interest you to also know that all my life I have been an extreme introvert. In fact, I am still an introvert. I know a lot of my friends and the people in my life do not believe, but I am still an introvert. So if your excuse is that you're an introvert, we are the same. But I've had to outgrow every mental block that holds me back from starting conversations or having conversations with people. And I teach the same in my community. I always tell my mentees to send more DMs and to start conversation with people, because there's a reason why it is called social media. It is so that you can socialize and network with people. Why is it important to send DMs? Because if you have a product or service, I want to believe that your plan is to sell it to the people that need it. And how do you know whether they need your product if you don't start a conversation with them? So many of the sales that we desire can only happen in human to human interactions. And also, you must know that people buy from those they know, they like, and they trust. And what's a better way to build your KLT index than to have one-on-one conversation with people? And yes, I know for most people, the issue again is what to say. How do I start the conversation? And in my community, I teach this, and I have a Google Doc that contains some conversation starters, some lines that you can use to start a conversation. If you need it, leave me a comment and I will send it to you. So let's get into the two acts that I want to share with you in this video that will make you completely fearless in the DMs. The first one of the ways I help my students overcome the fear of starting a conversation is by asking them a very simple question. If you send that message to that person, what's the worst that can happen? So let's assume you meet a guy on LinkedIn. His name is Dave, and then you try to initiate a conversation and Dave acts like he's not interested, or probably doesn't even reply your DM at all. What else? That's all. Then you move to the next person. It's as simple as that. If Dave refuses to respond, then move to the next person. Move to Jack, move to Maria. There are over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, so who is Dave amongst a billion people? Move to the next person. Get over it. Secondly, I need you to know that you are not bothering people by reaching out to them, all right? You might just be the one they have been waiting for. So check out this DM conversation on the screen. So sometimes in 2024, I decided to go on a month spree of cold DMs. I'm not going to advise you to do a lot of cold DMs, but I just wanted to test, something and see whether cold DMs really were going to work for me. So in that month of April, I was sending at least 3 cold DMs to people on LinkedIn. And guess what? I had numerous responses. People were kind enough to let me know that, they were not willing to use my service at that point. And, other people who were ready to use my service. And of course, I had people who did not respond at all. All right. So I had different kinds of reaction and responses. But this was one of them. This guy responded, and it felt almost like this person had been looking for a ghostwriter for a while. It just did not know who exactly to reach out to, who to contact. And as soon as my message came in, it was like, oh goodness, thank you for coming. All right. So you're going to meet people like this when you try to network. People that are already sold on what it is you do. As a matter of fact, they are in that stage where they're trying to make a decision about whose service to use. They just have not, really found somebody who does exactly what they need. And when you step in at that point and try to start a conversation, you're like God's blessing to them. And there's a story in the Bible. You don't have to be a Christian to really understand what I want to share now. There's a story in the Bible about an Ethiopian eunuch that was coming from a feast in Jerusalem and was going back to Ethiopia and was in his chariot. And the Holy Spirit told Philip to catch up with that Ethiopian eunuch. And then Philip did exactly that, ran after the chariot, asked to enter the chariot. And once he entered, he asked the Ethiopian eunuch, do you understand what you are reading? Guess what the Ethiopian eunuch said? He said, how can I understand except somebody explains it to me? And Bible says that from that passage, Philip began to explain to him what it is about the person called Jesus. So the Ethiopian eunuch was reading a text that he did not understand. He needed somebody to explain it to him. But there was really nobody around that he could ask to explain. But at about the same time, Philip sent him a cold DM. And guess what? It was exactly what he needed at that point. I hope this story helps you to see that sometimes when you reach out to people, even cold DMs, all right? Some of these people have been desiring to work with somebody like you. They just probably have not had the time to really go look for, who it is that will render the service. And you might just be coming at the right time. So what's my point? Send more DMs. The more you do this, the better you will get at it. It gets better with practice. See, I know this from personal experience. This thing gets better with practice. So my challenge to you this week, or as you watch this video, anytime you watch it, is to connect with at least 5 to 10 new people daily on LinkedIn or anywhere else you are building, and start a DM conversation with 1 to 3 people amongst the 5 to 10 people. Again, if you're wondering what to say that gets their attention, leave me a comment and I will send you some amazing, very simple conversation starters that you can use to begin to practice, and you will get better with time. All right, I hope this video has been useful for you. So thank you for sticking with me up until this point in this video. If this video has been valuable for you, hit the like button, share this video with somebody who might need it, and of course, if you want to see more of these kinds of video, ensure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.